Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. I'm like, what day of the week it is? I'm going to give you all some time to get on in, come and join us. If you are new to our wonderful live streams, we do a lot of these public live streams on YouTube. I know we are used to kind of passively watching YouTube, but you can actually actively watch YouTube and participate in the comments. So feel free to do that. We'd love to have you be part of this. We are also live streaming on Facebook and on LinkedIn. So all really cool places that you can learn all about us, connect with your wonderful community. So I'll give you all time to kind of get in and get situated. We have a great program today. I'm so excited for you all to learn about it. Before we dive into that, I want to introduce you to some of the work that we do at Wonderful, because a lot of times when we do these live streams, people are new to the community. They're not as familiar with Wonderful, or maybe you are. Maybe we've got a bunch of members here, which would be great if we do. Awesome. Welcome. Go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat. We want to know who you are, where you're tuning in from in the world. And my favorite question is, what does it look like outside your window? Are you looking at a parking lot? Is it this beautiful sunny day with a meadow and sheep going by? Are you, what do you see? Take us into your world. So go ahead, drop in the chat. We'll say hi to you. We are learning all about a topic that is so relevant to creators today. It's how to turn your travel content into revenue. I'm like looking at the slide. I can't say bookings without creating more content. You all can see it, but I can't. So I can't see the screen. Anyway, bookings equals revenue, like how to make money without having to create even more. It's such an important topic for content creators. But let me take a minute and introduce myself, introduce the wonderful community. If you don't know me, my name is Beth. I'm founder and CEO of Wonderful. I also wrote a solo travel book called Wonder Woman. I have a podcast called 85% that focuses on women in the travel industry and telling their stories. And let me tell you a little bit more about what Wonderful does. We're an international network of women travelers and travel content creators. One of the things that we really want to do is change the face of travel and support women travelers worldwide. That means planning group trips and helping women to connect with each other, but it also means creating resources and offering opportunities for women to build meaningful businesses in travel, to not just be, participating in the travel industry, but to be leading the travel industry. That's something that's really important to us. So you'll find that in a few different ways. One of them is something that a lot of people know us for. It's the WITS Creator Summit. It's a travel creator summit that we've been running since 2014. We're on like our 13th one now. We'll be in Chattanooga in May. If you've signed up, awesome. Can't wait to see you there. If you haven't signed up yet, come check it out. You can go to witsummit.com/Chattanooga. I'm going to drop it in the chat so that you have it too. And then come and join us. We have all sorts of good conversations about the travel industry. We have great conversations about how to build your business in travel. We do this media marketplace. We do all sorts of excursions before and after. It's really fun, so check it out. And if you can't make it to Chattanooga, you definitely should continue to be part of this community online. We have this whole creator membership where you can get access to programming like this, special masterminds, workshops. We have a gig board. We do programming local hubs. We have 29 local hubs all around the world. It's a really special space. And I wanted to give you a little bit of a view of what's actually to come in our member hub. If you haven't seen some of the programming that's going on the 23rd, which is 5 days from now, we're actually doing a prep class on WITS, on the Creator Summit, all about how to get ready for networking, how to show up, what kinds of things you should do to prepare in order to really make the most of this event. The day after that, we're doing a mastermind on how to pitch sponsors. It's something that we do every month to really help you nail that email or that phone conversation or that pitch with somebody that you want to work with. Day after that, we're doing a YouTube Shorts mastermind. We have YouTube Shorts doing a regular mastermind with us. We also have Pinterest just a couple of weeks later that will be joining us. Photers, their editor, Rachel, comes and helps evaluate article ideas and pitches, and then a monthly blogging mastermind. So you can get a little bit of a taste of some of the things that happen in our community, all the things that happen in our community, and how to stay involved. It's pretty good. Okay. So let's get into the meat of this conversation. Enough about me. I want to introduce the two amazing women that are here joining. I'm going to make this bigger again so you can read along too. We have two coming in that I'm going to invite to the front. Sheer Ibgi, the founder and CEO of Globe Thrivers. Sheer is a revenue-driven founder with 7 years of scaling experience across, hold on, I can't read it because of my own screen, across startups and partnerships and go-to-market. A former travel creator, she experienced firsthand how hard it is to turn inspiration into real income in travel, and is now merging that lived experience with deep AI expertise to build Globe Thrivers, the social commerce platform helping creators turn content into bookable trips. And then we got Rachel Gott, who works for Globe Thrivers as the product and community growth expert. Right, Rachel? Rachel is a UX researcher living in Tel Aviv, loves working with people to understand their needs, behaviors, and attitudes, as well as how they interact with the Globe Thrivers app. She gathers data from users to collaborate with the content team to turn those insights into user-friendly designs. And when she's not diving into research, you can find her exploring new destinations and fueling her love for travel. Rachel and Sheer, I'm bringing you on the screen. Welcome, welcome. So great to have you here. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So I'm going to let you take it from here. I'm going to take my slides off the screen. I know you have a couple things you want to share, but after that, for people who have questions, you can drop them in the chat. I'll be monitoring that, but I'll let you take it away from here.
Okay, perfect. Rachel, you want to say a couple words before I share my screen and dive in?
Sure. So nice to be here. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, we're really excited to show you Globe Thrivers and show you how you can monetize your travel recommendations.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask in the middle of the talk, post them in the chat. We're happy to answer questions as we go along. I'd rather keep it a conversation, so don't be shy as I go ahead and go through the deck. Okay, so I am hoping you guys can see my screen. Rachel, we're good?
We're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we're very excited to be partnering with Wonderful on this webinar to explain how you can monetize your travel content and really take all of that existing amazing content that you have today and turn that into an actual revenue stream. So when we talk about the industry as a whole, the biggest shift in travel is not where people book, but it's how they decide. And over the past decade, we've seen more and more people actually go to social media as their first stop to actually discover travel, to discover where they want to go and who, what places they want to visit, not just what countries, but what locations. And we saw this huge shift. And what we're seeing is that creators are driving demand, but they're not capturing the value of that. And so when you look at the industry and you're like, oh, okay, great. Well, people are going to TikTok or Instagram to see what creators are recommending. What happens next? And the real conversion moment actually is not the link. It's the actual plan itself. And when people actually look for recommendations, what are they doing next, right? What are they saving it? Are they booking it right away? And that is what we like to call social commerce. And social commerce has been an industry that's blowing up over the past decade. And when you look at it from the industry perspective, it's worked really, really well in retail. And there are a lot of amazing companies that you can see here on the slide that have done a really good job at allowing creators to monetize those recommendations. But it worked well for retail because retail sells objects like physical goods. And we can see that happening across the board. But no one's really done it for experiences, for something that's not a physical product that's being delivered to your house. So if social commerce worked in retail, it's definitely going to work in travel. And so travel is next. And we're very excited because it's a very exciting time because we see how successful social commerce has been and how many millions of creators have joined these platforms to grow their business. So why not do it for an industry that has the largest consumer spend? So basically how this works is you have your existing content. So whether that's a reel that you already posted on Instagram or on TikTok, whether that's a list that you have saved on your notes app on your phone, whether it's a Google Doc, doesn't matter what it is, you can import that content into Globe Thrivers, and we use AI to take that content and organize it into a trip to help you make your trips and build out your content a lot easier on our platform. And then all you do is share that with your followers, and then your followers can plan from there. So they can either save the recommendations that you've posted, or they can go ahead and remix it, which basically duplicates the itinerary that they can edit themselves, or they can go ahead and book. And every time they book, you earn. So it's not necessarily what we're so used to with basically having a hotel say, here's an affiliate link for 7 to 14 days. You share that if someone books, great. It's very much creating a storefront. It's like this living and breathing ecosystem of all of your travel recommendations that you can constantly monetize, even if someone doesn't book it in that 7-day or 14-day window, but they'll book it in 2 months from now, in 3 months from now. If you inspired that booking, if you brought that person in to essentially live this experience that you lived, even if they book it down the line, we're still tracking all of that. And that planning layer is really important because that's, where people make their decisions. That's when they decide, okay, I actually want to go to this place. I actually want to book this place. And so, like we said, we're using AI tools to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So it auto extracts places from your content. It builds itineraries instantly. We organize everything into a storefront for you, kind of like your profile. So we want your content to become like this, again, living bookable trip that you can constantly share. And so, yeah, we call it like your travel storefront. So think of like the link in bio, but monetizable experiences. So we're starting with hotels right now on the platform. So you can promote your lists and your itineraries and your trips, and hotels are instantly bookable. And as we grow as a platform, the more supply we'll add. So beyond just hotels, but tours and experiences and dining and events. Like the goal is any experience will be on the platform. And obviously we're in the very early days of this, but right now it's focused on monetizing those hotels. Rachel, do you want to take it from here?
Sure. So how do creators earn from Globe Drivers? So like Shir was saying, right now you monetize from hotel bookings. And what we do as a platform is anything that we earn from booking, we give you as a creator 50%. And that ends up accumulating a lot more than, let's say, a t-shirt or a makeup item that you would post on Shop My or Link or LTK. And we completely track attribution, just like Shir was saying. So any trip that you influence, if it came from you, you are going to be receiving that 50% commission. And yeah, it just completely adds up. And we have a high average booking value on the platform. So you really have the potential to earn a lot from sharing your trips with your followers on Globe Drivers. Yeah, so now we are in an open beta, which means we have about 150 creators onboarded, thousands of visits, and we get about a 15% conversion from creator traffic. So when you share the link to an itinerary that you put on Globe Drivers or a list of recommendations, when you share that with your followers, about 15% convert and come to Globe Drivers.
So any questions about that before we dive into the demo? We wanted to keep it really simple and high level just so you understand the platform itself and the benefits for creators. But before we dive into the actual walkthrough of the platform, does anyone have any questions for us?
I'm looking at the chat. I don't see any questions that have come in yet. So why don't we give people time? Go ahead. If you do have questions, drop them in the chat. We can answer them. Do you want to move on to the live demo and we'll collect some?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start from Instagram. So this is one of the creators that we work with. Her name is Bruna, and she's a lifestyle creator who lives in New York City, and you can see all the content that she has on her feed. But what she likes to do a lot of the times is when she's traveling, she'll link the itinerary or the list or whatever the content is that she created on her Globe Thrivers profile. She'll link it on her story. But what she also does is she actually puts it in her bio as well. So beyond just like whatever other links she has. So for example, she's a Revolve ambassador. She has her own brand called The Margins. And then she has her Globe Drivers itinerary. So whenever anyone asks her, hey, like, what did you do in St. Moritz? Or where did you go in St. Bart's? Like, instead of having to like answer every single DM with like all of the recommendations, you're able to easily say, oh, link in bio, or here's the link to my itinerary. So if we went ahead and clicked on this link directly, It's like we said during the presentation, your link in bio tool. It takes you straight to her profile. And so essentially what will happen here, and it's a bit slow because I'm in a hotel and the Wi-Fi is not so great here, so excuse the Wi-Fi, but it's loading. And so what you'll see here is we'll get to her profile. It'll generate her profile content. So while this all loads, you'll see her itinerary, you'll see her lists. You'll have the map load in the background of the place that she lives. So you'll be able to see all her recommendations in that city. And as a follower, it's great because you follow this creator for a while, you like their recommendations, you like their content. So being able to come into here and just like seeing a glimpse into their lives and being able to really, copy their recommendations or take from that and build your own trip from those recommendations, it's a really big deal. Sorry, it's just my Wi-Fi is not so great here while it loads. In the meantime, Rachel, is it load? Can you maybe pull it up on yours, perhaps?
I can share my screen instead.
Perfect. Sorry, my Wi-Fi isn't the best.
It's okay. So this is Bruna's profile.
Perfect. And so as you can see here, we have the profile, you have all of her itineraries, so you can really see every trip that she's planned. So if you wanted to go ahead and click on like one of the itineraries, like the perfect St. Bart's trip, for example, or the St. Moritz itinerary, perfect. So you have the whole itinerary here, and we have something called like a day-by-day view. So if you go ahead and click on that, you'll see the full itinerary on the left-hand side, and then you'll be able to see the whole map as well in all those locations directly on the map and not just in a list format. So you can see that whole trip. You can see everything she recommended. And then on the left-hand side, you can see like the specific places that are bookable on her itinerary. So if I was basically saying like, oh, this is a really cool restaurant, I want to add it to my own itinerary, for example, I can add. So you can go ahead and add content to existing lists and itineraries on your profile. So as a follower, it's great for your followers to be like, oh, okay, like I want to copy this person's itinerary. Let me like add these different places because I'm building my own. So you can either like start a new itinerary and add it to your new itinerary, or you can add it to an existing itinerary and have it go there as well. So this is, for example, Rachel adding it to her own itinerary, and then she's starting to build her own trip from there, which is basically starting off from that first recommendation that she pulled from Bruna's profile. And if you wanted to go ahead and book, then you can click on that book button, and then it will take you to the ability to book the hotel. And so you can go ahead and you can see the different properties, you could see the different rooms, and you can essentially go through the entire booking process. You'll see reviews and you'll see ratings and the amenities that the hotel has. And you'll be able to book it directly on the platform. And that's kind of what we mean by end-to-end attribution. Like we really track everything from beginning to end. So we'll really be able to track all the bookings that you as a creator are able to drive to the platform, and giving you like transparent analytics and dashboards so you can see the impact of your content and see how many people are actually engaging with it, which is obviously the most important part. Any questions about this part at all? I see a question here. Is this comparable to commission platforms like State 22 and travel payouts? So basically, what I like to say is like, because State 22, if I'm not mistaken, it's very much for blogs, and I know that they like started off by doing that, but it's similar in the sense of like you're able to finally be able to see the impact of your content and the revenue that you're driving. And I know that a lot of bloggers do use that. And if I'm not mistaken, they focus on events. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they do hotels. I'm not sure all of the inventory that they have. I could be mistaken. But it's similar, but a lot of the platforms don't do the planning layer. And so when I was talking about the social commerce industry and how a lot of these major platforms have blown up over the past 10 years because they really allowed creators to sell the products essentially that they recommend. The reason why a lot of these platforms haven't gone into experiences and travel is because decision making for travel is not instant. It's usually multi-platform. It kind of takes a few days or weeks. You talk to the people that you're traveling with. It's a much more complicated decision, and it usually happens during the planning process. And so we actually provide the planning infrastructure where most of the other platforms don't. So when you're sharing a recommendation with a follower, you're not expected to have them click and book it within 24-hour window your story is up, or within the 7 days that they see it, or whatever. They can save it and put it in a trip or a list, and then they can come back, and then they can still continue to plan, and then when they're ready to book, they could book. But we still tag that as you, as the person that inspired that recommendation or that user or that booking, and you're able to monetize that even in a longer tail attribution window. So it's similar to other platforms in the sense that it allows you to monetize on different recommendations. But the way that we're doing it is very much around the planning infrastructure and allowing users to have that user experience of saving and building their lists, and not just like saving a bunch of reels on TikTok or Instagram that get lost. And then when you actually have to plan your trip, you have to go back and find them and kind of start that process all over again. So as a creator, it's good because we tag all that from beginning to end. Does that answer your question? I created a profile on the app to check it out. When I was creating lists, there was a few attractions and restaurants that did not come up. Will users be able to add places that are not there yet? Yes. So if you're not seeing a place come up, and we partner with Google on all of that, so whatever is on Google Maps should appear. If it's on Google Maps and doesn't appear, then we'll have to look into our connection with Google. But as you can see here, Rachel is creating right now content, and you can see here where she clicks add. That main search is where anything from Google should pop up. But if it does not pop up over there, you have the ability to create your own card, which is what you were referring to. And we do have a lot of people that do that for tours. If they go on a tour with a tour guide that they love, then you can add your own place. And you can see that here. So add your own place, and then you can just tour with whatever. And then you can build your own little card if that's what you want. And you can put links, and you can add a photo and really build your own location. Is this because the focus is hotels? Yes. So right now the focus is hotels. We actually worked on building this integration for the past few months. So now we have almost every hotel in the world on the platform, which is great because you as a creator can recommend any hotel in the world. We have creators that make a list of their top 20 favorite hotels in New York City, and then they just share that. And then whoever books any of those hotels, right? You can do that if you want. And also we have really great rates on the platform as well, which will increase conversion rates for users, even if they go and compare it to other mainstream online booking sites. Globe Divers is very competitive when it comes to the hotel rates as well, which is great for your followers, and obviously you guys too. Did I answer all the questions? Okay. Awesome. No problem. Thanks for the questions, and keep them coming. Okay, so there's a lot of other ways that you can enter the Globe Thrivers platform. So right now, what we did from up until now was coming in from Instagram, which is how most people find out about us, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, or even Substack writers who are writing travel blogs, and then they link their Globe Thrivers itineraries, lists, hotels, recommendations. But another way that people find out about us is just going straight onto our website, as you can see here. And this is the main website where you can sign up, and then you can either search at that top bar over there, or you could scroll and you can discover. So we feature creators at the top, and that's kind of why we really encourage creators to join now, because if you're part of the early group of creators that joins Globe Thrivers, you have a bigger chance of being featured on our homepage and being featured in our app and being featured online. So as you can see here, you can search by creator. You can search by destination if you want. You could search by travel style. So if you're just I want to go on a family trip, what family trips do people recommend? You could search by travel advisors. So travel advisors are travel agents, and we allow users to actually book with an agent directly as well. So if you don't want to book the hotel on your own, you can actually connect with a travel advisor who's an expert in the place that you're going to, and they can plan and book the whole trip for you. And so that also is counted in the attribution for creators as well. So if a user that you bring in ends up booking with an advisor, that still counts. And advisors are great because they're usually higher, the booking value is usually much higher, and they can book anything, whether it's tours, experiences, flights, hotels, so it all counts. and then trending trips. So it's kind of like this like discovery explore page that you can see everything on the platform. But like if we scrolled up and like decided to click on France, for example, and you're like, okay, like I know I want to go to France. Let me see what recommendations are in France. So you could see here that on the search page, on the left-hand side, you have all of the itineraries that exist that people have posted in France. You have the map, so you can see all the pins as well. And if you scroll up, you also have the ability to like see lists. So not just trips, but like general lists that people have shared, like my favorite restaurants in Paris or whatever. And then you can see hotels. And for the hotels, you will have like this purple tag at the top right that is like telling you that these are hotels that people on the platform recommended. So these are like recommendations that people have given. Or if like you continue to scroll, sometimes there'll be like just general hotels that we partner with that we recommend if there's not enough that the general platform recommends. And then if someone decides to like click on one of the hotels, they can always see like where it was featured. So for example, you clicked on this hotel, you could see how many lists it was featured in. Like these are all of the different lists and itineraries that hotel was mentioned in, and then you can explore those pieces of content, for example. So if you did click on one of them, you can go into the itinerary, and this is like a full family vacation in France that someone shared. So you can see the entire trip. And again, this is another creator, right? So like this is other ways for your content to be found on the platform. The more content you're creating, the more options you have to be featured on the platform from even a regular user that comes into the platform. It doesn't necessarily need to be a user that you brought, but if you create a lot of content, you will naturally come up in search results a lot more. Are we able to add more than one social account? Yes, you can add an Instagram and a TikTok. It should be in your profile. If you go to edit your profile, you should be able to see that there.
Yeah, it would be over here.
And then for the last part, you also have the My Trips at the top. So at the top, you have the ability to see all your trips that are there. So this is like all of the different trips that you've planned. You can also find them on your profile. So it's either on your profile or in the My Trip section. And then there's also a book button on the top right there, which just takes you straight to booking. If, for example, you just like wanted to book, you can just go straight to that booking button, and then it takes you to the main site where you can like book whatever hotel you want. And as a early creator on Globe Thrivers, we're actually going to give you a personal discount code for your own bookings. So if you guys are going on trips and you guys want an additional discount code, if you sign up for Globe Thrivers, we'll give you that discount code so you can book your own hotels at a lower rate. And then one last thing that I wanted to show was the different AI tools that we created to help you create content, which we briefly talked about earlier. So there's a few ways that you can create content with AI in an easy way. So one is import trip, which we can start with. So this is like a pop-up that we have, and you can click on the import trip button on the top of the top right screen on the web as well. And you can either like add an Instagram reel, you can add a TikTok video, or you can copy and paste a full list that you have. So we can start with Instagram. And Rachel, if you want to just like pull a reel. And basically what you would do while Rachel's finding that video is copying and pasting the link to that. And by the way, we do have a mobile app on the App Store. So if you download the app, you can actually share a reel from Instagram directly to our app. You just click the share button and then you send it to Globe Thrivers, and then we'll use AI to parse that and create the list or itinerary for you. So you can do that either on the app, or you could do it on web by copying and pasting the URL straight into the web version. And then while Rachel finds that link, she'll paste it in here, and then we'll kind of show you guys how that works.
So I just copied a link from Instagram, and I'm going to just go ahead and paste the link and start itinerary.
And then the AI is kind of doing its magic right now. And then as you can see, it just pulled all of the recommendations from that video or post and created it for her. So if you guys are creating content already on social media, then to save you the duplicate work, you can just kind of use that tool. And then the other way that you can do this is with the copy and paste. So if you want to click on create a trip or create a list, for example, click create list, and we can go ahead and type in a city. And then you can go ahead and copy and paste, and you can take a list of places that you have. So either on a Word doc or on your notes app, or you could just type in a bunch of places. So if you don't want to like do it one by one with a Google search, you can just type in a bunch of different places. It could be like 50 places that you have on a Word doc if you want. And then the AI will connect that with the maps and create the list for you as well. So you have two different ways to create content in a much easier way. And we're actually optimizing this entire look and feel of the design. So over the next few weeks, it's actually going to look and feel a lot more seamless as well. We're constantly like updating the platform, and we have a lot of early creators who give feedback directly to our team. So we take that feedback and we always look to improve the user experience from the feedback that you guys are giving us. Okay, we have a few more questions here. So what are the commission rates? So what we do is we always want to be the most competitive in terms of the pricing that we give to everyone on the platform, because we want to increase the conversion rates for you guys too. So we use AI tools to kind of be competitive and kind of like increase and decrease prices depending on what's like standard in the market right now, seasonality, what other platforms are offering. So that also impacts commission rates. But I would say usually on average, it can range between like 8 to 10% commission. It depends on like it really depends on again, all those different factors that I shared with you. So if us as a platform, if we get, let's say 10% commission, then we would split that 50% with you guys. So then you guys would get 5% commission. Or if we got 8%, then you get 4%. So we essentially split the commission the platform makes with you guys. So let's say, $2,000 hotel booking, which is like pretty standard on the platform, then, if the commission was, let's say 10% of that, then you would make 5% of that. And that's kind of how the commissions work today. Obviously, as we add more supply to the industry, then it's going to change. Experiences, events, like all the commissions for each industry is different. But that's kind of how we handle it today. So you guys can easily make like $100 on like a booking, right? If you inspired one booking. And that's kind of how I look at it. Whereas like to make $100 selling clothes, you have to sell a larger quantity of clothes, for example. So, the average order value for the travel and hospitality industry is much higher.
Sheer, I just want to interject because I see so many questions coming in and you're just like masterfully answering them. So I'm here if you need me, but like keep going, girl.
Thank you. I love the questions. I'm very happy about the engagement. So keep them coming.
Great.
When you book a hotel through Globe Drivers, can you input your hotel loyalty points? So no, and this is something that's actually like a really good question, because this applies to every company in the world. Like you cannot use your loyalty points if you're not booking on the hotel website. Like that's just like how hotels work. So for example, one of the main reasons why we did not start with flights is because we've interviewed hundreds of our users, and almost every user books their flights with points. And so we know that most people are probably not going to pay for flights on Globe Drivers, which is why we decided to start with hotels instead. And then we'll go into other verticals. If you are planning on booking a hotel with points, then you're going to go onto the hotel website. Like Marriott, you have to go onto their Bonvoy site and you have to use the points to book the hotel with Marriott. And that same applies to Expedia, booking.com. I mean, like any platform like any online booking platform. So no, you won't be able to use your points if you do book on Globe Drivers. For example, you gave earlier with creating your own card for a tour we took. If we add a tour guide's info, how would we earn commission on that? Great question. You will not. Today, the only way you can earn commission is via the hotels that we offer. Now, if you, for example, have an agreement with this tour guide on your own and you just want to put a special link that he gave you, you can do that. And then you'll drive natural bookings that way, because you could put the link in the card. And we do have some travel agents that do that. Like they kind of put their own links in their itineraries because they want people to book through those links. For now, we're okay with it because we don't offer experiences and tours. But we are working on strategic partnerships to get that on the platform as soon as possible. And once we do launch experiences and tours, then you will be able to monetize on promoting those ones. It's just very fragmented industry. So there's a lot of different tour guides, a lot of different tour companies, a lot of different platforms. You know, there's like Get Your Guide, there's Viator. So we're, as a business, trying to figure out what's the best one for our creators to use so that they can recommend them and monetize on them. But right now we don't have those integrations built out. So the only way for you to monetize on it is if you have like your own relationships that you're promoting via the itinerary. For now, obviously we're a very young company, so there's a lot to build, but we're building as fast as we can. So this is really good feedback. If you're going to take a trip but haven't already, can you still create an itinerary in the app so others can do that as well? Yes, 100%. If you are going to take a trip and you want to create the trip already, and I always recommend this, I create trips in advance all the time. Like, I'm just like that type A personality where like I'm always creating my itineraries before I go, and then I update it while I'm on the trip with what I actually did, and then I post it afterwards and tell everyone, here's the trip that I went on. So 100%, you can create it, you can post it. You don't have to have gone on the trip to recommend anything. Like, you can start building out your storefront today, and there's no need to have gone on the trip to create that content. And I think I answered all the questions. Awesome. Keep them coming, guys, if you have more. So I'll go back to the deck. Okay. So we went through the live demo. Early creators win. So like I mentioned on the call, more content early means more bookings over time, long tail revenue. You'll appear more in search results like I shared. So I always recommend, if you're a creator, get on this before we blow up. We have an exclusive WhatsApp community for all of our like top most engaged creators. If you would like to be part of that, I will share the link shortly for you to apply. We will give you guys a personal hotel discount code as well. So for all of you who are signing up, we will reach out and give you your own personal discount code for hotel bookings. And then we will give you direct access to our team. So like I said, all of our creators that are early speak directly to our team, to our engineers, to our product team, to our marketing team. If there's a feature that you feel like is not working well, if there's a suggestion that you have, like, we're really taking everything into consideration. And we are, we pride ourselves in building this platform for creators with creators. I used to be a travel creator myself. And so I really love all of these questions, and I love all of the engagement and the feedback. And if you want to be part of this and dive in further with our team, like, you are more than welcome. And then featured placement and in-app promotion, which of course early creators get as well. So always good to be early. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. So what I would love to do is, if you have not signed up already, go ahead and do so. I would love to get everyone signed up on this call. Basically, what the requirements are to be in the creator program is just to create content and share links twice a month. So whether that's on your blog or on your Instagram story, or doesn't matter where, just make sure you're sharing links twice a month. And that's pretty much all the requirements to be part of the creator program. So to go ahead and sign up, you can go to app.globethrivers.com. Go ahead and create your account on the top right and sign up. Or if you want to download the app, then you could download the app on the App Store and sign up as well. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. I started seeing a bunch of signups come through. So I know a lot of you have already done that, but yeah.
I love it. And I just dropped the link in the chat, so you all have that, and we can follow up too. I know this session is being recorded, so for anyone who came in late or missed a part, you can just come back right to the same YouTube link to see the recording. But then I'll also blast this out to everyone who RSVP'd so that you also can see that as well. And you got another question.
Oh, yay. I'm going to share the WhatsApp community form while we're at it. I'm going to put it in the chat here. Oh, I don't know if I can.
If you can't, just send it to me and I can post it.
I put it in our chat if you want to share that. Okay, let's see. When booking hotels, is the company partnered with another company, i.e. Expedia? It's not. In full transparency, like, we did explore all of these different options when we were building out the platform, but we really have creators in mind as our priority, and we really wanted to get the best deal for our creators and build out the best platform for you guys to track attribution end to end. So we ended up choosing another technology partner that is not a consumer business. Like, people wouldn't know this company because they only work directly with other businesses. But it's not one of them. No.
Sheer, you touched on the fact that you were a travel creator too.
Yeah.
And I was curious if you could talk a little bit about your experience, from one creator who is now creating a business to everyone else who's watching. Like, what are some of the things that affected the way you approached building this business, knowing what you know about what it's like being a travel creator?
So I was always someone that loved to create content. I actually studied abroad in Paris 10 years ago, 11 years ago now. And I started a blog called French Off the Boat. And I just like shared my Paris travels and all my European travels that summer. And I had like my itineraries and my list on my WordPress blog every week. And then I started getting so many requests on Facebook that people were asking me for like more recommendations that I ended up starting like an actual lifestyle blog with like a best friend of mine from college called Not Your Average. And I ran that blog for a few years and we partnered with hotels. Like we actually like, and it's crazy because this was 10 years ago. Like I would partner with the hotel and like do a YouTube video, and it was cool that I got a free hotel stay, but then I didn't really have a way of monetizing further. And I think the biggest pain point that I experienced was that like the hotels would ask me for the performance, like, oh, what did people say? Or like, what results came out of this? And I would only be able to show them like the views on YouTube. Instagram stories didn't exist yet. So I didn't have a way of linking anything on my story. Like I had really just had my WordPress blog and my YouTube channel. And it was really hard for me to show like the ROI of this campaign. And like was studying business at the time. So like my brain was like, okay, this doesn't make sense for them. Like I want to find a way to work better with brands, and I didn't really know how to. And then fast forward, I ended up doing an MBA exchange program at Tel Aviv University. And then I got a job at an AI company in Israel in 2017. And this was like right before the AI boom. And I was like, okay, generative AI seems like a really cool industry. I want to be early. Let me work in this company and learn how to build a company and what AI is. And I want to go back and solve that problem one day when I'm ready. So I ended up just like that's why I stopped blogging, because I started working at these like hyper growth AI companies where you don't have time to blog anymore. And what I learned from the business side was that, okay, like when you're building a product, you need to build closely with your customers. And that was what I learned. Like all these AI companies would like bring customers in, treat them like their partners, and like have them help us refine the product. And so when I started Globe Thrivers, my mission was always like building in public. Like I knew that like we can't just build the product by ourselves. Like we can't just sit in a room, 5 people, and say, okay, this is what we need. We're not the end user using this all day, every day. So from the beginning, I said, okay, we're gonna just do everything early. Like most companies, like a lot of them will like build. They'll stay in stealth and they'll launch when the product is ready. We never launch when the product is ready. We just launch. There's bugs. You guys tell us what the bugs are. You tell us what needs to be fixed, what we need to add, and then we improve. And then we don't overbuild anything. We just build what you guys want. And so that's something that I learned a lot. And I think that as a creator, it's good that I had that perspective, because like I knew what needed to be done because I was a creator, but like because I hadn't been in the industry for so long, I knew that I also needed to like push this out and get feedback from like creators who do this full time right now. And I think like that was a really big learning, and what I'm really happy about, like building this business in a space where feedback is so important.
Well, and I think the thing that I really love about the story, besides the fact that you're just a badass, is that the purpose of this conversation is kind of talking about how can creators like earn revenue through these channels. But the thing that you touched on just now is another thing that creators have a really big problem with, which is reporting on bookings. Not just making bookings, but reporting on bookings. When you have a partnership, the first thing that the destination or the brand is asking is like, how is this translated into sales for me? And a lot of times as a creator, you don't have that information, you don't have that data. And so if you had something like this, you could kind of consistently pair that with your content. And then you could say, hey, by the way, we generated this number of bookings from our content. And like, that's a very powerful thing to be able to say to a brand.
It is. So actually, this is something, and I didn't touch on this too much because we're still building this out, and it's still something that like as a business, we're still working on. But, oh, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So I'll show you guys. I'm going to share my screen. For all the creators on here, you guys will have access to this right now, but we're actually working on building a bigger dashboard for these metrics. But basically what you see here, like this is my Globe Thrivers profile. you will see here all of the content and the performance of your content. So that pain point that I told you about of me partnering with a hotel and not being able to show them the impact of my content, that's not going to exist anymore. Like, because we're building the social commerce platform for travel, we're building beyond just a tool to share links and build a trip, but we're actually building out the data infrastructure for creators to present to their partners the impact of their content. And so, as you can see here, if you click on saves, for example, I could see that like my content was saved a lot, and I can see what content was saved and by who. So like my Miami wish list was saved 5 times by these people. I can see that my Miami restaurant, my 5 days in Kyoto, my fave Tel Aviv restaurants, I could see the number of shares. I could see how many times my content was shared, how many people viewed the content that was shared. So like, not just like, okay, I shared a link, but I don't know what happened after that. No, we're tracking everything. So like, if you share a link to your Instagram story, we can tell you exactly how many people clicked on that and exactly how many people signed up from that. And then exactly how many people booked from that, even if it's down the line, it doesn't matter. So as you could see here, like 48 hours in Abu Dhabi, I shared this on LinkedIn and I got 10 people who viewed it. Or I shared like all these pieces of content, and you can see how many people viewed. Like my Miami kosher restaurants, 57 people viewed that. My like NYC B-Day weekend, you can see how many people viewed, and then you can also see how many people shared. So like my Okinawa Japan Rex, Lewis and Rachel both shared it. I also shared it. Rachel shared it, and 9 people viewed her link that she shared, but 12 people viewed my link, right? So all these like data, and we just implemented bookings last week. So like it's brand new, but then you'll be also able to see your bookings, and then also be able to see the total list, the link views and the total opens and the total signups driven. So like you said, ROI is important for businesses. We want to help creators be professional and grow their business. And the way to do that is they need the right tools. And that's what we're doing. We're helping build the right tools so that you could be more successful and then have better relationships with the brands that you work with. And eventually we'll be able to connect creators with those brands and then show the brands, look, we're the infrastructure. You're going to trust our data. You work with our creators. And like, this is really the long-term vision of Globe Thrivers.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and now all of you can see what got me so excited when I started talking to Sheer about this, because not only is this like a woman-founded business, but also it's one that's using data-driven information. You know, it's really helping us to show our case of how much creators really are impacting this industry. Because I think so many of the times, it's like you're sharing your recommendations, but then it's not really tracked back to you. And so we have all this impact, but then we're not really getting the recognition for it. And so this is really upending that.
Yeah. Something else our creators love about using Globe Thrivers is we know that your followers are always in your DMs asking, where did you stay? What did you do? What restaurants did you eat at? So you can easily just send them the link and you earn when they book through you. So it makes it so much easier for both you and your followers also.
Yeah, exactly. So what's next? You're building, I mean, there's so much going on. You're like in build mode. You have this new creator program. You're looking to grow it. Like, what do you see evolving over the next few months?
Well, as a business, we're focusing on fundraising. That's like our big business priority right now. I'm currently in San Francisco working on that. So like, that's like our main business. Like, I think that we did something that most companies didn't do, which is pretty much bootstrap this company and
bootstrap that tech company. That is hard.
It's like one of the I think probably the hardest thing I've done in my entire life. And like when you do that, it forces you to like be so focused because you don't have a dollar to put out a line. Like you need to be so careful about where you spend. And so we were able to bootstrap to a point where we were able to validate the product and the market. And now that we've done that, we're raising to accelerate growth. And like, that's really what our priority is. So close this round, accelerate growth, bring on board thousands of creators, and really become the category leader for social commerce and travel and experiences. That's like our number one priority. And that's what we're focusing on as a business.
All right, let's see it happen.
Oh yeah. I see one more question.
I do, yeah.
Can you share which link we need to share with the content creator portion? Is it just the link to your site or another specific one? You mean to sign up, like to sign up for Globe Thrivers?
I'm wondering if that's what she means. So
if it's to sign up, then yeah, just go on app.globedrivers.com and you can just sign up. And while you sign up, we ask you, are you a traveler, are you a creator, or are you an advisor? And then if you click on travel creator, then it'll put you into the travel creator flow. And then if you're talking about the link to join the WhatsApp community, I shared that already, and I think Beth put it in the chat. It's the type form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the type form is the form to request to join our WhatsApp community.
Awesome. And we can follow up with both of these links in an email so that everyone gets them as well.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
And yeah, and I think that's like, let me double check the deck to make sure I'm not missing anything else. Yeah, that's it. That was pretty much our entire presentation. We wanted to keep it below an hour, which I think we were able to do.
We did it. Yes. We made it.
Oh, the link that you said we needed to share with followers. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So basically, any link that you share on Globe Thrivers is trackable. So for example, if you go to your profile, and I'll just share my screen again. Okay, so this is my profile. So this share button right here, if you just copy this link and you put it in your bio, that's trackable. So like if you go to my Instagram profile, you could see that my travel recs on Globe Thrivers is right here with my Amazon storefront. So like that is trackable. If you go to your profile and you're like, I only want to share my 5 days in Kyoto itinerary. So you have that share button here too. You can generate your share link. You can share a list, you can share a place, you can share pretty much any content that you generate plus your profile, you can share. And the second you share, we start tracking that. You don't have to do anything regarding the tracking because we automatically track everything. Does that answer your question? What's the difference between a travel advisor and a traveler profile? So a travel advisor is a travel agent. So maybe you missed this part of the presentation. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen so you guys could see it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we have obviously creators on the platform, but we also have travel advisors. So travel advisors are travel agents. So travel agents are, Rachel, do you want to share your screen again for me, please?
Sure.
Thank Rachel, with the magical internet.
I know. This hotel is not good Wi-Fi, that's for sure. So basically travel advisors are travel agents. And when you look at like the travel and hospitality industry, if you go to like Isabella's, for example, Isabel Perez, yeah. So we call travel agents like the OG creators in travel because like they really are like the original content creators. Like they build trips for a living. And so we tell them the same thing that we tell you guys, like, guys, promote yourselves, promote your business. Like you want to get more business for yourselves, like promote the itineraries, the trips that you've planned, the list that you recommend. And so these like travel agents also like can show off the trips that they've planned. But the only difference is that you can book with them as well. So you see that she has the book with me button, that orange button under her profile. If you click on that, that takes you straight to the booking form to be able to book with her directly. And so that's a way for them to generate business. So they actually can like earn leads for their business and get more clients through Globe Thrivers. And all they have to do is build a trip on the platform. So for example, if a user that you brings in ends up booking a trip that you recommend, but with an advisor, like you'll still make commission on that because we still track that. It's just for the advisor, they're really happy because like they also like what creators do and they want to like partner with creators. They just don't know how because they hop on a call, they plan the trip. They're very like white glove one-on-one experience. A lot of the family trip bookings that we get go through advisors. Like if it's like a 5-person, 6-person trip, like they need help with like a lot of different aspects because it's a complicated trip, then like usually they'll go through a travel advisor. And so, yeah, so that's the difference between a travel advisor and a traveler.
Love it.
What to add to bio? I have some learning to do, but this is super exciting. Oh, of course. And like, feel free to like, wherever you're creating content today, put the links there. If you have a blog and you're writing a blog on your website, add your links there. If you're writing a blog about your trip to like the Florida Keys, put your list of the Florida Keys from Globe Thrivers in that post. Link the hotel that you recommend, link anything in that post. Like it doesn't necessarily just need to be on Instagram or TikTok. It could be at Substack. It could be on your website. We have YouTubers that put it in their YouTube captions for their videos. Really, wherever you're creating content, that's where you should put the links.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sheer, Rachel. This has been
Of course.
so helpful. Definitely let me know if there's anything else you want to follow up with besides the 2 links that you shared here. But everyone, I hope you've enjoyed getting some of these insights. I love just getting like some like behind the scenes, under the hood. You know, you are like pre-funding, you're about to explode. I know it. So really excited that we had a chance to chat with you today.
Thank you. Oh, great. Miss Scott Mell's an advisor. Welcome.
Yay. Awesome.
All right. Thanks,
Great.
Beth. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you all soon. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day. And bye for now, everyone.
Bye.